Boom. Keep him coming.
What's going on, everyone? Bobbybarks here, and welcome back to my FM24 Tottenham Hotspur series. We are on episode 2, so we've just finished season 1. We didn't win any trophies in typical Tottenham fashion. However, we did finish 4th in the table and qualified for the Champions League. So I see that as a bit of a positive, a step in the right direction, considering that they finished 8th the season before. We've had a lot of activity over the summer transfer window, lots of goings and comings, and we've kind of overhauled the squad. I think I said to you that I wanted to overhaul the defence because we needed some better defenders or some squad depth in defence, certainly if we were going into the Champions League, where we'd be playing far more games than what we played last season. So I'll kind of just get straight into it and show you who's gone and why some of you might be a little bit heartbroken. Okay, the first person out the door was Manor Solomon. He's gone to Leicester for £9.5 million. He's a decent player, but he wasn't really fitting into my tactical approach, and he wasn't getting much games. We've got a lot of competition on that left-hand side, and the competition on that left-hand side gets a little bit more fierce as well with some of the incomings. So for £9.5 million, he was a free transfer signing for Spurs in the previous summer. So it's money well made. I feel like he was never really going to take us into that, into that next step of winning major competitions. So £9.5 million from Leicester for him. Ryan Sessegnon is another left winger, also can play left back, but we let him go. West Ham come in for him for £15 million, and I just thought, again, that's money I kind of need in the bank to overhaul this squad. So he's gone to West Ham for £15 million. This one was a little bit heartbreaking. I didn't particularly want to let Bentancur go. I think he's an absolutely fabulous player in real life. He's done really well on the game for me as well. And, his media description down here is world-class midfielder, so you generally don't want to lose players like that. But Liverpool offered £75 million, and I know his value on there is now between 82 and 118, but £75 million, straight up £75 million, that's not broken down or anything. I felt like I could invest that money in a player equally as good, so that's why I accepted it. Now, Oliver Skipp's a funny one, isn't he, really? Because he's not that good in real life, and he's not that good in the game either. But he is a homegrown talent that came through the Tottenham youths. And going into the continental competitions, I kind of need those players to be registered in the squad. But Southampton offered me £40 million for him. And when you're getting offered £40 million for somebody like Oliver Skipp, you take it. Yeah, if that was real life, if Southampton came in with a £40 million bid in real life, if you're a Spurs fan, you're taking it. So, he's gone, unfortunately. Yeah, he was just providing the squad depth for the continental competition, but I'll take the £40 million, thanks. Brian Hill has gone as well, £14.5 million. Sheffield came in for him. Another one on that left-hand side that was just never going to get much game time. I probably could have played him more and then got more money for him, but I just wanted to free up the space in the squad and get some funding in. So £14.5 million for him, I didn't think was too bad. Ben Davies is one that I told you about. He went on loan to West Ham in January with a mandatory bid, so it was £25.5 million. That's what he's gone for to West Ham. So I feel like that's good business for us, for a player of his age and his quality. I definitely feel like that's good business. Eric Dyer has gone £12 million to Atletico Madrid. Again, I think that's good business for us. It was only a £5 million signing, wasn't it, when he was a young kid? And, we probably could have got round about 40-50 million for him when he was in his prime, and the likes of Manchester United and Italian clubs were sniffing around him. So, we could have got more money for him in real life a few years ago, but, £12 million for the player of his quality now, I feel like is decent value, so I took that. Sergi Reguilon was on loan at Manchester United last season. He came back. We got £8 million for him, so a bit disappointing. I always felt like he could have been a better player than what he was. I think he looked good, just doesn't play good. It's a bit of a strange one. But yeah, I think Spurs signed him in real life for like 30 million or 25 million or something. So we've made a significant loss on him, but he's just not developed into the player we all expected him to become. Now, this kid played really, really well last season for us, but Al Ittihad, who seems to be buying a lot of my players, came in for him, and I think it's something like 30 to 35 million, something like that. So again, I just let him go. I want to invest in young players that can come into the team and can grow with the team. So I've let him go, given his age, and I'll just reinvest that money back into young players. So an offer I was 50-50 about, but you know, I'll let him. If he hadn't played as well last season, it'd have just been gone. But yeah, I think 35 million maybe that he's gone for. Joe Rodon's gone for 9 million to Al Shabab, so he's gone out to Saudi Arabia as well. Only 9 million for him though, but again, he was on loan at Leeds last season, wasn't going to play for me. Need better players than him, so he's gone. Jed Spence has gone to Al Rayed for 9.5 million, so again, he was on loan at Leeds last season, never going to play for me. Waste of money of an investment, if you ask me, when he was bought for Spurs in real life. Conte famously said he was a club signing, but I don't think any manager particularly wants him, so he's gone to Saudi Arabia as well. 9.5 million back for him. Oh, this one's going to hurt everybody watching this, and it hurt me as well. It really did. But Al Ali offered 100 million for him, and at 32 years old, and I love Son. He's my favourite Spurs player when he's on his game, and you know, he's not as consistent now as he used to be 2 or 3 years ago, but he's a wonderful player, and I didn't want to let him go, but he wanted to go. He's getting paid £1.2 million a week. Why wouldn't you want to go? And 100 million for a 32-year-old. I'm sorry Spurs fans, I am, but I need the money. Need the money to buy the players I want to buy. Tanganga went also to Al Shabab for 10.25 million. So again, he's another homegrown player that I could have kept, but he's just not good enough. It just need the money in to buy younger players again. And I'll show you the incomings when I finish with the outgoings. We've done really well, I feel, in the transfer window. We finally got rid of Ndombele, and surprisingly, he's gone to Brighton. 11.5 million is worth a lot more now, and you know, Brighton might be able to do something with him where we couldn't, but we just needed him off the books. So he's gone. We're not paying any wages or anything. 11.5 million off the wage book, gone to Brighton of all places. I've let Valise go out on loan with a permanent transfer of 15 million. So he's gone out to Saudi Arabia as well. Again, he's not going to play for me. He's just, you know, it remains to be seen whether he's going to be good in real life or not, but certainly on the game, he's just nowhere near the level that I want in my strikers. So yeah, he's gone. £15 million on a loan to mandatory permanent deal to Al Qadsiya in Saudi Arabia. So he's gone. Okay, so on to incomings. This is the first signing that we made. This kid is absolutely wonderful. He's been absolutely amazing for me this season. He's been one of the buys of the season. Now he's worth 78 to 80 to 90 million. I bought him for 12.75. He's absolutely wonderful, and he's just coming as a direct replacement for Lo Celso. So we've got Maddison and Lo Celso in those Mazzala roles, so he's come in to do that and compete with Maddison. This was a big signing, £50 million this cost us, but he's a fantastic right back. We'd obviously let Emerson Royal go earlier in the transfer window in January, so we only had Pedro Porro, and we'd let Jed Spence go as well. So we needed another right back desperately, and I wanted a young star, and this kid is brilliant. So we brought him in. He takes over from Pedro Porro as the first in the starting squad. So he is fantastic. £50 million is a lot of money for a 19-year-old, but he will be our starting right back for a long time. I wanted a young keeper, and this kid was available for about 7 million, I think. Yeah, 7 million. So I snapped him up. He's a wonderfully young prospect, and if I can just give him some game time in the cups, like the domestic cups, I think he will kick on and be a real asset. Vicario is not as good in the game as what he is in real life, so we needed to strengthen the keeper positions and bring in Seaman in. Seaman will come in as third choice. Vicario drops down to second choice. I do bring another keeper in. So yeah, having him here is wonderful. Fraser Forster leaves on a free transfer at the end of the season, and Hugo Lloris has retired. In fact, I brought Lloris in as a goalkeeping coach for the under-18, so I've kept him at Tottenham, but just in a different capacity. So we needed a third choice keeper, and I think this kid's perfect for that. In terms of centre-backs, you don't get much better. This lad had I think it was a release clause for 45 million, or Sporting were going to accept 45 million. So I've brought him in. He's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So he's our first signing at centre-back. So we've got Romero, Van der Ven, and now we've got Diamande. We just need another centre-back. And that other centre-back is Inacio, who was playing with Diamande at Sporting Lisbon. So I've signed Sporting Lisbon's two centre-backs. Inacio's brilliant. He's a left-footed centre-back, so fits in with what we want. So we've got Van der Ven and Inacio to cover the left side centre-back role, and now we've got Romero and Diamande to cover the right side centre-back role. That's a fabulous choice. That's 4 fabulous centre-backs. Couldn't ask for much better. You could always find better, but I don't feel like we need to change those. 4 brilliant centre-backs for what we need to do. Trubin was the signing for the goalkeeping position. 55 million, I think he cost me, but he's a fantastic big keeper. Somebody that it was between him and Diego Costa. Most of you will know Diego Costa if you've played Football Manager. But I couldn't get hold of him. He didn't want to come, and he was far more expensive than Trubin. So I settled on Trubin, who's kind of second choice, if you like, but still a mass improvement on Vicario. So we have Trubin, Vicario, and Seaman in goal. The centre backs are all covered off, like I said to you a little bit earlier. Right backs are now covered off with Porro and Fresneda, and then obviously we've got Destiny Udogie and we've got Barco coming back for the left back role as well. So defensively, I feel like we're sorted. Onto midfield then, and we needed to strengthen this a little bit. So Archie Gray's come in, a young English player. I bought him at the age of 18, so he should become a Tottenham Academy player, homegrown player by the time he's 21. Once he spent 3 years here between 18 and 21, so in 3 years' time, he'll be similar to what Ollie Skip was, what Tanganga was, Kane, Winks, those type of players that you need for the continental competitions. So we're going to struggle a little bit to start with in terms of registration for Champions League, but in a few years' time we should have enough players here to be able to mount something. So Archie Gray is a fantastic signing. He's a wonderful player on the game, and looks like he is in real life going to be a really good player as well. So we signed him for 20 million from Leeds. We've loaned him back for this season, but I can tell you he doesn't play that much when we recall him in January. So yeah, really pleased to get him over the line. We needed somebody on the right hand side to compete with Kulusevski, and I wanted somebody English. Michael Elise was available. We've paid 60 million for him, which is a lot of money, but he is brilliant. He's probably the best English right winger behind the top players like your Fodens and Saka. Saka's probably a top one, isn't he? And Foden can play in that role. Rashford and Sancho can kind of play in that roles. But I feel like Elise is probably a little bit better than Sancho. I could have got Sancho, but he was 79 million. And I felt like Elise was better value for money at 60. And he's just going to be a wonderful player competing on that right hand side with Kulusevski. I think we've got good squad depth now on the right wing. I spent 18.5 million on this lad. He looks really good, and I've seen a couple of things about him on Football Manager websites. He develops into a decent player. I brought him in and loaned him straight back out, but I think he'll be a great left winger for us. Son's obviously left, so we needed a big name player to come in and fill that, otherwise the squad was going to kick off. So we needed a decent replacement. It isn't Rego, but we brought him in as a future prospect. This is the lad we brought in to replace Son. 21-year-old Spanish. He can play on either wing, bit like Son. He's elite at 21 years old. He's going to develop into a world-class player. The squad was happy when I brought him in. Everyone had forgot who Son was. So, yeah, he's a wonderful player. So we have him on the left-hand side. And did we bring somebody else in for the left-hand side? I'll come on to that in a little bit, because we've let a lot of left-wingers go. Son, Sessegnon, Solomon, Perisic left on a free, I think, retired at the end of the season. And we let Brian Heel go as well, didn't we? So I'll come on to it in a little bit, but yeah, Pino's the starting left-winger now for us on that side. I brought him in. He was on a free transfer. Man United released him, and I don't know. I just thought, you know what, I'll sign him up, and even if I sell him later on, it's value for money. So yeah, I signed. It was only £40,000 a week as well. So Anthony Martial's coming as a squad player for us. So this is the squad now. We have Vicario, Trubin, Seaman, Romero, Inacio, Diamande, and Van de Ven. In terms of right back, we have Frasneda and Porro. In terms of left back, we've got Udogi and Barco. We've still got Basuma and Højbjerg as defensive midfielders. We've got Moscardo still, but he's going to go out on loan again. And then we've got Alpha Divine, Papa Matassar, Glock and Madison in midfield. That's the area we need to improve on a little bit, I feel. Sarr and Madison are the starters. Madison damages his cruciate ligament. He's out for 7 months. A little bit further on, so we need to strengthen the centre midfield spot. We've still got Brennan Johnson, sorry, for the left hand side. That was the other player I was trying to think of to cover for Pino. So we've got Pino and Johnson on the left hand side. We've got Elise and Kulusevski on the right hand side, and then we've got Konate and Leonardo with Martial as well, just floating as a backup there for anyone that is out for a period of time. In terms of long-term absentees, like I said, Madison goes out for like 7 months, and Porro breaks his leg. He's out for about 5 months as well. So we do have some challenges. We have to bring some more players in January. I can't remember if we sign anyone else, because at the minute we're on 11th of August and I forgot to do a save point after the window's shut. So I can't remember if we sign anyone else. Let's just have a look at the ins on here, just see if anyone's pending. It's all staffing there at the minute. So we do improve the staffing. But yeah, I've forgot to do a save point in September. So the next save point you see will be the 1st of January. And this is right before the first game of the season against West Ham. In terms of friendlies, we did alright. We lost at home to Milan, drew at home to Juventus, but the rest we kind of won, which you'd kind of expect. Disappointing not to get a win in either of these two, but you know, big Italian clubs, and we're still a very young developing team. So so I'll jump forward now to the 1st of January, show you how we've got on and whether there are any other signings in the last couple of weeks of the window. Okay, yeah, there was a couple of signings, but they were all pre-arranged, so nobody actually came in between those last couple of weeks of the window. That's probably why I didn't do the save point. But yeah, as you can see, we're on the 1st of January here. We had some pre-arranged signings coming on the 1st. So Naipan, my scouts were raving about this kid, absolutely raving about him. So we brought him in for £6 million. He's gone straight back out on loan. But yeah, my scouts absolutely loved him. So we brought him in as a centre midfielder again, 18 years old, so should develop as a homegrown player. Kobe Mainu, 30 million. I told you we needed to strengthen the centre midfield. This kid's really good on the game, and I actually signed him. And if you've watched the Man United game this weekend just gone, he played really well. He was kind of a surprise starter. Ten Hag started him, and he played really well in that game against Everton. So I think he will kick on in real life as being a really good player. What I was a bit surprised about is that he's got an England cap as well. I didn't know much about him in real life until I'd seen him starting in that Man United game against Everton, and it came as a bit of a shock to the pundits that were doing the game that he was starting. But yeah, he looked really good in the game, so I signed him before that game against Everton in real life, and was using him on my save, and then watched him play for Man United against Everton, and I was a bit like, oh, well, he is actually pretty good. What a finish by Garnacho, by the way, in that game. What a goal. better than Rooney's for me. Further out, it more cleaner. So yeah, what a fantastic goal that was. The only thing with Rooney's is it was against better opposition. So although Garnaccio's was against the England goalkeeper, Pickford. So yeah, so we signed Kobbie Mainoo, and last signing is Shaquille Van Persie, which is Robin Van Persie's son. Again, scouts were raving about this lad, and because I'd let Valise go, and I do let Anthony Martial go for 15 million, by the way, so I've made 15 million in the space of 4 months on him. So I've only got Leonardo and Konate as strikers. So I brought Shaquille Van Persie in. I know we've got a lot of young strikers here at Tottenham in the academy, but I don't think any of them are going to develop into first team players with the exception of Jamie Donnelly. I think he could. But when I'm looking at Will on the game, I'm not talking about real life, when I'm looking at Will Lancashire and Dane Scarlett and Jude Soonsop-Bell, I'm going to end up selling those. I don't think any of them are going to make my first team squad. Jamie Donnelly could, and I do try to use Jamie Donnelly a little bit in like the Carabao Cup and things. So Van Persie's coming. He goes back out on loan as well, though. And in terms of outgoings, the only other players that went out after I showed you, Scarlett went out on loan, Moscato went out on loan, Troy Parrott was sold for 5 million. He was another youth player that was coming up through the Tottenham ranks, and Naipan's gone back out on loan to Rosenborg, where we bought him from. But yeah, Troy Parrott's another striker coming through the Tottenham ranks that's just not good enough, really. A lot of potential in these younger years, but it just not developed, unfortunately. So where are we in the league at the 1st of January? Well, we are top, and we're 4 points clear. And there's only 3 games that we've not won. So out of the 20 we've played, we've won 17, we've drawn 2, lost 1. I will show you the schedule in a little bit, but this was really pleasing. Really pleasing. The team's played really well, and I've changed the formation. I've gone away from playing the formation that is tried and tested that I used on FM23. It's just not working as well on this save with Tottenham. So I've changed it a little bit, and that seems to have worked. The game we lost was against West Ham. It was his first game of the season. His first game of the season, we lost, and I'm like, oh, no, please. Yeah, so this is the schedule. Like I say, we lost the first game away to West Ham, but then we got a good 3-2 win, 4-0 away to Sheffield United, I expect. Home to Arsenal, we won. Away to Fulham, we won. Home to Chelsea, we just snatched. 3-0 away to Middlesbrough, 2-0 against... these are games we should be winning. You know, we've had comfortable fixtures. This disappointing draw, that's a very disappointing draw. They're in the relegation zone. Fantastic 6-4 win against Man United. Inacio got 2, Glock with a penalty and a goal, Kulusevski at Papa Matsar. 3-0 away at Brighton's probably a great result. 5-0 at home to Liverpool, Glock with 4. Told you this kid is good. 2-1 away at Man City was probably the best result of the season. Man City is second at the minute. So that was a fabulous result despite going 1-0 down. Beat Wolves at home, beat Bournemouth away. And then again we've got, it feels like easy fixtures. I do know we play a lot of the big teams away towards the end. So like we've got Chelsea away at the end, Arsenal away at the end, Everton away at the end, Newcastle away at the end, Man United away at the end. All of us last away games, Liverpool away there, are very tricky. So we've got all the hard fixtures right at the end. So I think that's why we've done so well. So in terms of league, yeah, we've done great. Let's have a look at the Carabao Cup. We beat Leeds 2-1 in the 3rd round, but then lost at home to Leicester 2-1. We did field a pretty average team. You know, we didn't start as main characters, but yeah, lost 2-1 at home to Leicester, so we went out in the 4th round. Disappointing. Champions League though, had 2 easy games to start with, away at Astana. Then we had Bayern Munich at home. Harry Kane came. Sorry, I'm just looking at what my cat was doing there. It was making a bit of a noise. Harry Kane came back to the Tottenham Hotspur ground and got thumped. Take that, Kane. Great win away at Benfica. Beat Monaco at home. Beat Marseille at home. And then we've got to go away to Man United. And then at home to Napoli. So yeah, really pleasing results so far. Won every game. Can't fault them. Been brilliant. So this is the squad sorted by average rating. Vicario's at the top, but he's only played one game. He's actually leaving as well. Somebody comes in for him, and he does leave by the end of the January transfer window, which I'll show you in a bit. Kulusevski's been absolutely amazing. Glock, like I said. Look how good. 11 goals and 3 assists in 14 games. Pino's been brilliant. Trubin's come in and done a fantastic job in goal. Matassar plays really well. Fresneda. Konate's scored 11 in 20. Udoggy's played well when he's come in. Leonardo's played well when he's come in. Inacio's done great. Bissouma's playing well this season. Elise's done well when he's come in. Yeah, the team's just playing really well. Diamande's been, I say disappointing, but 6.94 is not to be sniffed at really. He's done alright. Donnelly there, as you can see, he's made a few starts and coming on subs. I've tried to include him as much as I can. Seaman's had a couple of appearances. I've tried to utilise Alfie Devine as well, but again, it just doesn't feel like he's quite good enough for what I want, which is disappointing. But yeah, I can't fault the team. They've been brilliant. Been absolutely brilliant. I'm really pleased with how everything's gone so far this season. So what I'll do now, I'll jump to the end of the January transfer window and show you any more ins and outs that have happened. Okay, so in terms of ins, I brought Stanisic in for 12.5 million. I told you earlier in the video, Porro breaks his leg and he's out for a period of time. I needed another right back. I was trying to sign Coyote, who's a right back at Fiorentina, an Italian lad, who has a release clause for about 45 million or something like that. I was trying to sign him, but they wouldn't let me sign him because I've signed too many foreign under 21 players or something. There's a limit on how many you can sign. So I've signed him to cover at right back, but also to cover a centre back spot. We've let one of the centre backs go. I know, but I'll show you why. And then I brought Cancelo in on loan from Man City. I've also brought Xavi Simons in on loan from Paris with an optional purchase at the end of the season. He's a wonderful player. Look at his stats, and he's only 21. He's a great player in real life. He's a great player on the game, and you know, if I can have Simons and Glauc in those centre midfield roles, tasty. Outs. Told you Vicario was leaving. He went for 58 million. Not to be sniffed at. Like him in real life, fabulous signing for Spurs in real life. Just doesn't seem to be performing very well in the game. Conceded 53 and 35 for us. So I'm afraid he needed to go. I told you he was going. 15 million. Signed him for free. Sold him for 15. Thanks, Leicester. I know what you're going to say. I shouldn't have let him go. I shouldn't have let him go. But I buckled at the money. They offered me 100 million. Well, 98 I think it was. And he wanted to go. He was kicking up a bit of a stink. I'd already rejected one offer. It was a bit, I think it was like 70 something. I think he was kicking up a stink. He really wanted to go to Real Madrid. And I can understand why. And I think, you know, if Madrid come in for 100 million for Romero, we wouldn't sell him at the minute, given the squad depth that we've got at centre-back. But given I've now got Diamande, Inacio and Van de Ven, I felt like we could let him go, and I felt like we can bring in. If I'm going to bring somebody in, it's going to be Scalvini, but I need to wait until the summer to do that. And if you follow FM, you know how good Scalvini is. So Scalvini's going to be my number one transfer target in the summer to replace Romero. But for the interim, I brought Stanisic in because I couldn't get Scalvini at the minute. So yeah, deeply upset to lose Romero, particularly after losing Son as well. Two sort of like heroes at Tottenham this season, and for the last couple of seasons, given the style of football and the players we've had. But yeah, Romero and Son both gone. So I'll jump forward to the end of the season now and show you how we've been getting on. Well, we're a point clear, and we've got a game in hand. And his next game is away at Arsenal. So I'm going to show you that as the live com. It's going to be a hard one for us to win, don't get me wrong. So there's more chance of us losing or drawing that, and then I'll have to show you how we get on in the last game. But I just thought, away to Arsenal, if we win the league. You couldn't ask for a better game, really, could you, to win the league? Everton have been relegated for the first time in their history, and they've gone down with Norwich and Sheffield United. But yeah, I had a look at the Everton squad. There's a couple of players we might be able to nick, like Pickford maybe, but we'll have to see. I was hoping Bournemouth would go down because I want Alex Scott. It's like 80 million or something. I'm not paying that for him. But yeah, there's nobody at Norwich or Sheffield United for us to steal, really, for a cut price with them getting relegated. But it is what it is. So I'll play the Arsenal game as a live com. I'll just show you how we've got on in the cup competitions. In terms of FA Cups, we're through to the final. So again, we're playing Brentford. I'd expect us to win the FA Cup, which would be a nice trophy for Tottenham to win. But my focus is on the league and how we progress through that. So we'll see how we go with the live com against Arsenal first, and then I'll decide what we're doing about the FA Cup final. In terms of Carabao Cup, I've already showed you that we got knocked out to Leicester, and the only other thing to show you then is the Champions League. So as you can see, we got knocked out to Paris Saint-Germain in the quarter-final. We lost away to United at 3-2 after a Fergie time winner from Fernandes. We beat Napoli 5-1 at home. We drew away to Inter in the first leg of round of 16, but we thumped them 5-0 at home, which was fantastic. Great performance, one of the best of the season. We had Paris Saint-Germain at home in the first leg, and when we lost 4-3, I thought, do you know what, we're going to struggle with this, and they absolutely spanked us 4-1 at their ground. But it's not surprising. They're an exceptional side, aren't they? They've got, world-class players in every position, so we're still a very youthful team that's developing. So yeah, I think in a few years we might be able to give them a game, but certainly for now they're just way ahead of us. So yeah, squad sorted by average rating again. Fresneda, Glauc, Mainu has been wonderful when he's played. Kulusevski, Sarr, Trubin, Pino, Elise, Leonardo. Bissouma's playing well again this season. Udogie, Simmons has come in, played well. Brennan Johnson's playing well. Mickey van der Ven, Inacio, it just goes on and on and on. Even Højbjerg, has got 7.02. Kanate scored 20 and 41. Doesn't have the best of average ratings, but he's putting the ball in the back of the net when I need him to. But Glauc has scored more. Yeah, Glauc is our top scorer, which is a bit weird, isn't it? But he's been wonderful. Told you he's been brilliant. Pedro Porro and Maddison are just down in the reserves, but I will bring them back in next season. They've just been injured all season. So, yeah, doing well. So, let's get into the live com against Arsenal. So that's the Arsenal lineup. They've got a very, very good side these days, haven't they? Which is a bit of a disappointing conclusion, but yeah, let's see how we get on. I'll just make sure the settings are right for what we need. Just drop that down one, drop that down one. No highlights so far. Arsenal have had a shot, but it wasn't on target. Possession's fairly even. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one for us to win. Spurs don't go to Arsenal and win often, do they? So I'm not expecting to win this game, but I just thought if we did, it would be a good game to show you as winning the title with it being as arch rivals. So Theet, good player. If you've been watching my Journeyman series, he's been playing in my Belgium squad in the Euros. Oh, that's a great finish from Gabriel Jesus. And Arsenal take the lead. VAR aren't checking it either, so they must have been happy with it. Let's have a look at the replay. Rice to Odegaard. Yeah, I think Diamande was playing him on. Oh, Trubin should have done a bit better there, though, to be honest. Oh, we've got a free kick. Kulusevski pops it in. Oh, it's off the bar. Udogie, Yarabe, Oscar Glauc, Bissouma, Inacio, across to Diamande, to Sporting Lisbon centre-backs now playing in the Premier League. It's a great ball over to Oscar. It's a great tackle. We've got the ball back with Doggy. Look, Doggy loses it. Putting Glauc through on goal there, but it was a great tackle. I didn't see which Arsenal defender it was, but Kulusevski's free now, and that's a penalty all day long. And Glauc is our penalty taker, I think. Yep, come on, Oscar. Oh, great finish. 1-1. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, we don't need to see replay of a penalty. Thank you very much. But we've been the better side. Look at that XG compared to theirs. Oh, I don't like this though, just before half time. Bit far out, Odegaard, but worth an attempt. Thought we were going to swing it in towards the back post though. Oh, and again, this is what I was expecting him to do last time round. I think we've got it clear. Bissouma, don't get booked. You're already booked. Don't get sent off. Nothing daft. Zinchenko, Martinelli. Great player, Martinelli, in real life. Oh, this is not looking good. Just defended it. Come on. Don't let... you looked offside that time, though. You looked offside that time, Jesus. The ref's checking it. VAR's checking it. Come on. Rule it off. Yes. Yes. That should be half-time. Oh, we don't need to see the replay of a disallowed goal. Come on. Okay, we've inspired them at half-time. What's going on here? No. Fresneda has it. He's going to bring it out. Diamande. Oscar. Out to Jeremy. Back to Oscar. As a... Oh! Ramsdale tips it over the bar. I wonder where David Raya is. We've got it away. Oscar's stayed upfield. Oh, but he's lost it. Oh, it's Zinchenko though, and he's already been booked. He's off. See you later, Zinchenko. And they've had to bring Saka off for Kieran Tierney. That's a good substitution for us that Saka's not on the pitch anymore. Down to 10 men. This is our opportunity. Come on. Come on. Encourage. Okay, let's have a look at what subs we can make here. Kanati's not really getting in the game, so let's bring Leonardo on. Pino's yellow carded. I feel like Simmons has really got into the game, so let's bring Papsar on. Okay, I'll do for now. Kulusevski's looking tired though. To be substituted. We'll bring Elise on there. Come on, guys. 10 minutes. Come on. Encourage. Come on. Bring on for Bissouma then. Come on. I feel like we've not taken advantage of 10 men Arsenal here. Full time, 1-1. Yeah, I felt like we could have just taken a little bit more advantage there. We just didn't create anything, did we, towards the end? Okay, so we're 2 points clear going into the last game of the season, which is at home to Fulham. So I'll jump forward to that. Okay, I'm just jumping in for the second half of this last game here against Fulham. Obviously, if we win, we're definitely champions. We're 2-1 up. It's been a very close game. Fulham have thrown everything at us, really. Diop has scored an own goal. They've now got a free kick. I don't know what happens if we draw, because I think it depends on second place winning and having a better goal difference than us, but I haven't looked at that, so I don't know. It'll be a surprise if we end up drawing, but I just assumed we'd win this, being at home to Fulham, but we're struggling. I think we're clearly nervous. And hopefully we don't Spurs it up. Canati through to Elise. Canati's had a poor second half of the season. He's not really scored at all. Just like the odd goal, but it got off to a flyer. And that is it. We are champions. I will join you again in a little bit, but just enjoy this moment with me. Okay, we're here for the FA Cup final now against Brentford. Given we've just won the league, this should be a win. Getting a domestic double in Season 2 would be fantastic. But you just never know with Brentford. They're just one of them teams that can beat anybody and lose to anybody. So... oh, it's a good save. Nice finish from Pino. Pedro Porro and James Maddison are on the bench, by the way, so they are just back towards the end of the season. Porro's 100% match fit, but Maddison's 50-50. But I've included him on the bench. Anyway, Fresnedo's pulled a muscle. Should be able to pull through it, but Porro's there if we need to bring him on, which we might need to later in the game. But yeah, Maddison, I probably won't put him on, not unless it's, desperate measures. But I just thought it'd be nice to have him in the squad, particularly if we win. It'd be good to have him there in his kit celebrating, not like John Terry, wearing his kit even though he wasn't in the squad. I told him I wasn't happy with the performance at half time. 0-0 and just no real chances. We've not even had any highlights other than that Pino one, but Brentford seem to be dominating possession, but they've not had a shot on target. Well, here we go though. Oscar looks to be struggling now as well. Canate's got it, played it through. Oh, he should have played it through. Xavi's through. What a finish. Absolute blinding finish. And we are 1-0 up. Xavi Simons. I think we will make a couple of substitutions for those people that have taken knocks. Pedro Porro's going to come on. Great finish from Xavi. Glauc's carrying, so I'll bring Sarr on, and Pino's carrying, so we will bring Brennan Johnson on. So we've made a triple substitution. I don't think we can make any more subs unless we go to extra time. Reyes in goal for Brentford. Interesting. Because he wouldn't be a bad goalkeeper to sign, because he's classed as homegrown. 1-0 up, 20 minutes to go. 15 to go. Got another one. Kulusevski brings it in. A doggy gets up. Oh, the ref's checking it for VAR. I'm not quite sure why. He didn't look offside. Oh, it's been disallowed. He didn't look offside, did he? We'll see from the replay. He just went a little bit too early. Ah, that's disappointing. Disappointing. Trubin knocks one long. Playing a game ahead, Senis. Brentford are on the attack here. This is not good. Oh, he's blazed it wide, thankfully. Few minutes remaining in this one. Can we hold on? Pedro Porro. Kulusevski. Xavi. Oh, he's lost it. Sar's there. Oh, it's Bissouma, sorry. Oh, nice little turn from Bissouma into Sar. Player tries playing it through to Johnson, but he can't get on the end of it. And Brentford are coming away with it. This highlight's gone on a long time. I don't like this. We need to get the ball back. This needs to be our highlight, but it's not. Brentford are coming forward. Surging forward. Trossard does a little dance. Rico Emery puts it in, and it is 1-1. They have scored at the end. Oh, God. Heartbreak. Bringing Kulusevski off for Elise. I never know how many substitutions you can make anymore. I've tried to just fire them up again. The need firing up. Oh, Brentford are on the attack again. Come on. Fired up. Oh, doggies intercepted it. He's away. Make some movement, Johnson. He's played that through to... There's nobody there. Brentford are on the attack again. Oh, this is not good at all. Oh, he's blazed it over. It's a corner. Excuse me. Whipped in the corner. Trubin comes out and collects it calmly. It's a big kick. Johnson gets on the end of it. Konate. Out to Pedro Porro. Porro with a nice back heel to Elise Bissouma. He's gone all the way back to Diamande. And Inacio. Through to Sar, plays it forward to Elise. It's a great ball. Elise through. Konate can't get on the end of it, but it's a penalty. The ref has given a penalty. Well, he's checking, but it is awarded. Who's taking up to step this? Because that doesn't look like bloke. It's Brennan Johnson, and he's put it in. It's 2-1. And we're back in front in extra time. We've got any serious player penalty. Porro's got it, he's bringing it forward. Elise. Oh, and Johnson puts it in, it's 3. And they should be plain sailing now. Bit of a highlight here with Brentford straight from the kick-off. If they get a goal back straight away, this could make the second half of extra time quite interesting. Lisa's got it back. Nice. This should be the end of the first half. Surely. So, out to Porro. Nice stuff. Lisa. Turning, and that's it's 4-1. Cruising. Half time in extra time. I don't know if we can make any more substitutions. Yeah, we can. Let's bring Madison on for the last 15 minutes. Give him a run out. Porro's gone down cropped. Bissouma. Ray saves it. Porro's riding around. I hope he can get up. So it looks like we're going to do the domestic double. It's not a year ending in one, but Spurs have won some trophies. The fact that we're going to win 2 major domestic trophies is fantastic. So the aim for the next 3 seasons really has to be the focus on the Champions League and whether we can win that or not. Which, you know, I feel like if we can keep this team together and just add some quality here and there, we can do. So, oh, it's off the bar. Brentford have I was just about to say have given up, but now they're on the attack. Ivan Toney off the bar. And out for a goal kick. A lot of highlights here in the extra time compared to what we had in the main game. But we've been quite dominant here, look. Just not quite with the possession, but in terms of shots and XG. Tony plays it in. It's a fantastic finish from Janelt. Consolation goal there from Brentford in the last minute of extra time, making it 4-2 after extra time. But that is it. We've won the FA Cup, and up we go again to pick up another trophy from the stand. So I'm going to leave this playing for you while we pick it up and walk around the pitch, but that is all from me. Thank you for joining me on this journey so far, and hopefully you tune into the next one. Really appreciate your view, for giving up your time to watch these videos. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and if you feel like interacting in the comment section, please do feel free. Thanks very much, have a great day, and bye for now.